Welcome to Shooty SuperCoach and welcome to another player profile. Let's talk about another man who's been high on the request list, and that's Tom Rockliff. So he's certainly a man that I've received quite a few comments to profile him, so I'll do so today. And look, we didn't get a look at him on Sunday. He wasn't in the JLT Community Series for the Power. I was hoping he might be, just so I could have at least one game in Port Adelaide colours to talk about him, because players like him who have switched clubs or different roles and that sort of thing, it's good to just see one game at least for me to talk about, how it looked in their new environment. But we didn't see that, but there is plenty still to talk about with Tom Rockliff. I was thinking on the drive home, how am I going to describe how I feel about Tommy? What's their relationship look like? And I thought about this. Have you ever got that mate, that friend that you catch up with, and he's a great bloke. You have great times. When you go out, it's fantastic. You can talk for hours. He's a fantastic bloke. But you think you're getting close to him and you can really trust him, then he just lets you down. You're going to meet here for a kick of the footy or go to the bar and he pulls the pin on the morning and just doesn't show up. He just let you down a couple of times. He's a tough man to get a hold of, pretty busy, but then you run into him at the function at the footy club and you just hit it off again. He's great value. But inevitably, he never quite makes it into your week-to-week lineup because he's just a bit flaky. He doesn't always necessarily mean to let you down, but he ends up doing it no matter what. It does hurt. He's the sort of person you really want to like, and Tom Rockliff's the sort of bloke we want in our team. But I just cannot put him in there, even at what is a fairly bargain price for what he's capable of at $529k. Let me walk you through a little bit of the history with Tommy Rockliff. People say burn man, and yeah, we get burnt from time to time with certain players. Tom Rockliff has given us great joy, but equally he's caused us so much pain. Oh, so much pain. 2015. He's just come off a sensational season, averaging 132 in 2014. So fair to say not many would have started him, fair enough. But round one, he dishes up a 71, then broken ribs, it's not good. Then a 57 in round 4, he returns pretty quick. Then in round 5, he gets, I think it was a knock to those ribs again, out extremely early, scores a 0. And we're thinking, okay, well, now Tommy's had a bit of bad luck, but he's going to be a fantastic mid-season get. Comes back in round 6. He's very good at recovering, I'll give him that. 97, then a 91 in round 7. We're thinking, g'day, let's jump on the Tommy bandwagon. We've just got that 0 out of the 3-game rolling average. I think we should all jump on him. He's just working back with a couple of 90s. Jump on, trade him in. Round 8, 120. I'm a bloody genius. Round 9, 103. This is fantastic. I've got an absolute bargain premium. Tommy's come off a 130 average and I've got him cheap as chips. This is fantastic. But then ribs again, I think it was. If not, it was a broken jaw. A couple of impact injuries. It was super unlucky. So all of a sudden, he's back out of our sides. Returns round 15. From there on out, averages 110. So that hurt. That's a bit of that's unlucky. A few impact injuries, not necessarily soft tissue. Rockliff's just had a very unlucky season. Ends the year with an average of 101.9, largely due to a couple of those injury-affected games and, of course, the 0. So we're thinking, jump on. He doesn't have a shock and hammy or knee problems. He's just been unlucky. Get on board in 2016. Round 1 and 2, not great. Cause for concern, 89 and 48. Then a calf strain. Well, that hurts. So he comes back round 5, 83, 117. And again, we're probably thinking, well, maybe we can trade him in. Maybe. I hope no one did because he dished up a 41. But then again, the hamstring strikes. Shocking stuff. So all of a sudden, if anyone persisted through the calf strain, he didn't deliver at all. And he started to show a few signs with an 83 and 117, then let you down again, and even more so with another hamstring injury. So he returns pretty quickly, round 11, and he returns by scoring 204 points, just as you do. And from round 11 onwards, he rubs it in by averaging 126.6 for the rest of the season. Just to sprinkle a little bit of salt into that wound. Cheers, Tommy. So we're thinking, could we forgive this man? 2017 rolls round. What are we going to do? He's priced pretty high after that finish to the season. I don't think we can go near him. That's fair enough. We won't go near him. But some of us did, and that was me. He was somewhat of a point of difference, and after 8 weeks, I'm thinking, this is fantastic. I've ridden some tough times with Rockliff, but this is one of those times where we're at the bar, we're having a ripper night, then we've gone on a holiday to the Lakes Entrance, and this is fantastic. Cruising down the Great Ocean Road with the boys, this is fantastic. First 8 weeks, he's averaging 123.4. I'm feeling pretty good about that selection. But, as he does, he kills you. He then dislocated the shoulder, returns in round 12, and plays mainly forward. And I have a mate who barracks in Brisbane, and he told me he was playing forward quite a bit and half forward flank. That's always been something that Rockliff has been linked with, even though he seems to play unbelievable football as an inside mid, and he's not overly imposing in attack, but he's always this player that seems to get linked with the will spend time forward tag. But again, once again, we saw a season where he showed us his very best, 123.4 over the first 8 weeks. Then again, an injury, not necessarily season ending, just a 3 to 4 to 5 weeker, and then he returns and he's gone. He's gone to shit, guys. Let's be honest. I can't think of another way to say it. If you held on to him, which I'm sure not many people did, I know I did, but it hurts to trade out a guy who's averaging 120. But then he just came back, and I'm not even sure what he averaged. I didn't even calculate it, but a lot of mediocre scores, and it ended up giving him the average of 96.3 that we see priced in front of us when we look at Tommy Rockliff ahead of 2018. So, need I say more? Could it be any clearer? Will I be picking Tom Rockliff? Absolutely not. If I wanted to entertain it at all, that was absolutely wiped when I heard any whisper that he could be used anywhere near that forward 50. I don't need that. I don't need that when I hit the pillow at night. I don't need to be worrying about if Kenny's going to put him in the forward line. I just think, to be fair, at a 96.3 average, I can absolutely see why Tom Rockliff is tempting. And if the word out of Port Adelaide was that we just need him to be in there alongside Wines, just be an inside beast. But there's been a little bit of whisper about him playing forward, and it just worries me. Along with everything else that I've just said, he often cops little niggling injuries, and he more than most seems to cop them at the most inconvenient times. You know, the last few seasons, I think he's played something like 16, 18 and 17 games. So he's not missing chunks of the season, just little snippets here and there, which sometimes can be more frustrating because it leaves you with this, thought process of, do I trade him? Do I hold on to him? But the fact is, the trust is gone with Rockliff. I just can't bring myself to do it. If he was promised an inside role, and maybe if we see that through the JLT and he just rocks up with 35 touches and 20 contested and that sort of numbers, well, it's going to provide a headache. But I just think I'm too scarred. He's a great fella, Rocky, the sort of guy, as I said off the top, that we'll have a drink with. And if we run into him anytime, we're going to have a chat. We'll stop and talk. We'll have a beer. That's great. But he's not going to be the sort of guy that I ring up on the Monday, see what you're doing Friday night and lock it in, because inevitably he's going to fall out of the plan, be a bit flaky and let you down once again. So clearly I won't be picking him. I couldn't bring myself to do it. He has been a roller coaster. His best is oh so good, but his worst, it'll have you pulling your hair out. And that concerns me, and I think there's better options. Certainly around, if not just slightly more expensive. I don't think there's any need to be really saving the pennies through the midfield. I look at Cripps, I look at Selwood, I look at Josh Kennedy, all guys who I think are 8k and maybe 40 odd k more than him, something around there. I mean, I'd feel far more comfortable with those sort of guys. And look, that's where I'm at with Rockliff. Hopefully you've enjoyed my thoughts. Let me know where you're at with Tommy. I'll be very interested to see. But I must say, I know we sometimes see guys burn us once, and you can forgive them. And if they're at a discounted price or a bargain price, then we can quickly put that previous burn aside for what could be a bargain. SuperCoaches are fairly forgiving, but I think Rockliff has hurt us too many times, and I just think his upside, yeah, it's evident, but even the factor of the change of clubs, I think we could bank on his scoring when he was in the midfield as a Brisbane Lion, but just a different side. You just never know. I thought Dion Prestia would be far better when he went to the Tigers. He ended the season really well, but just a slight shift in role, just a slightly different version of Prestia. And will we see the same Rockliff? Hopefully. I don't know. We don't know. There's always that element of risk, and sometimes a new club can bring a spike in their numbers. Sometimes it doesn't. So I'm not necessarily buying the fact that a new club breeds new opportunity and therefore more scoring. So I wouldn't have that as a factor in the selection process. But look, I'll be very interested to see your thoughts. Comment away. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I think I'll upload this one on the Monday. So if you're listening to it now, I'll probably be halfway through a bowl of half-price wings at the Sporting Globe. So that should go down quite nicely. And thanks for everyone who joined the league. I checked it at about 7:02 and they're all gone. So I hope everyone, well, clearly everyone who wanted to get in didn't get in, but hopefully whoever did is stoked about that. And for those who didn't, well, there'll be more leagues to come, and certainly an overall group that we can all join and get involved in the shorty community. But yeah, thanks again. Appreciate the support. The subscriber numbers are going great. I'm really pleased about that. If you've got any mates who haven't come across me yet or love their SuperCoach, even if they have, feel free to share it around. Give us a like, give us a comment, get involved. I'll do a Q&A down the track because it is tough to get to all the comments. So a Q&A will be coming closer to the season. As always, appreciate the support, and I'll chat to you soon. Cheers.